Good evening. I'll call this meeting to order. My name is Emil Geddes. I'm not the board president. I am the clerk, and we have two board members here tonight, two absent. And so we have Mr. Steve Gursky and Scott Dudek. We're going to have flag salute. I've asked that welcome the Adams group here, and we're going to have one of our students lead us in the flag salute. Please stand.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good job.
Great job. I'd like to welcome all of the Adams students that are here to join us tonight. That's the best part of our board meeting, and certainly the parents, and welcome all staff back from spring break. Usually we have a wonderful presentation by a superintendent, but he's also at the same conference that the other two board members are at, so we're not going to have that. So we're going to move right on to Adams, and you'll introduce your folks and kids.
Good evening, Board of Education, families, students. My name is Lauren Griggs, and I'm the principal at Adams Middle School. And tonight we have a really special presentation for you. We have a lot of things to be proud about at our school. One of the things is our unified PE, and that includes all of these students, plus about 60 more. But tonight we want to highlight just a couple of things. Student experiences, LCAP goals, why this program is so important to us, how we value inclusion, and how inclusion is a part of what we do, not just something we do. Thank you.
LCAP Goal 1, Standards, Benchmarks, and Frameworks. Create equitable, diverse, and inclusive practices in content and instruction. LCAP Goal 2, Intervention. Continue expanding special education program offerings to meet the individual needs of each student. LCAP Goal 4, School Climate. All students will have a safe school culture, climate, and learning environment. LCAP Goal 5, Well-rounded educational program. Maintain unified sports opportunities in middle school.
The Adams Unified PE and Sports Program is designed to promote social inclusion and foster positive interactions for students with a variety of abilities through special designed physical activities and sports teams. Our program allows students with and without disabilities an opportunity to build friendships, develop mutual respect, and break down stereotypes to promote tolerance and acceptance. Each spring, 6th and 7th grade students select electives for the following year. Nearly 55 students applied to be a unified buddy as their elective of choice. This is a highly desired elective and has become an integral part of our school culture.
Student voices. I like playing basketball and shooting hoops, said Jacob. I like buddies because they help me with a lot of exercises, said Dexter. Playing soccer at Special Olympics is my favorite, said Javs.
Unified TA was one of my top elective choices in 7th grade because I love the idea of being able to help the special needs kids and to make new friendships with this program. You get to meet so many new people, have new experiences, and be able to help others. I learned to have patience, and I learned some ASL, American Sign Language, to communicate with my buddy, Juliana L. Unified has impacted my life strongly because I have gotten to see so much more of life in the shoes of another person. Without Unified, I would have so much less perspective of what it's like to have a special need. I have learned so much from my buddy as well as other buddies with different special needs. It is so important to have the insight of what different levels on the spectrum look like and how everyone reacts differently to things. Christina C. Being a unified TA has taught me that I need to have patience. I believe this will help me in my future goals and working with others. It has been fun working with my buddy while we play games, participate in the Special Olympics, sing karaoke together, and chalk art the quad for school. I have made a lot of new friends the past 2 years of being a TA. I am disappointed that I will not be able to continue in high school as they don't have the program. I hope that the program here at AMS continues to grow. Tyson V.
Hello, hello everyone. My name is Yusuf Azaki. I am a 6th grader. At Adams, the best school ever. Unified is fun because you can make memories with your friends. I made some of my best friends in Unified. I think it is a great thing and I want it to grow. No cap. Unified is the best thing ever. Thanks for listening. Big W in the chat.
Hi,
My name
my is Michael Jones.
P is so
PB is so good.
My buddy Mikey is my
My Mikey is so clever and bright. We play basketball and PE. Well, soccer is my
favorite.
favorite.
I get
Kids and girls
have
have
buddy
Buddy?
excited.
very excited.
Everybody is
Everybody is hello, so Michael.
You ready?
Hi, my name is Alyssa and this is why I like Unified PE. My favorite part about Unified PE are the buddies. They help me and talk to me, which makes me happy. My favorite unified sport is soccer because we play with other people, and unified bowling lets me play with school friends. Unified PE makes me feel included because when I was in normal PE I couldn't do much and it made me not happy because I just wanted to do PE but they said it could be too rough for me. Unified PE makes more accommodations for me. Yes, I have made friends in Unified PE and they say hi more.
Unified PE is the best for the students. The environment provided for students allows for most and challenging, least restrictive classroom for physical education where students can thrive. Magic is in the mixture of special education, students who buddy up with general education students, and that is where they can get the exercise and the socialization they need for body well-being and brain function. Mr. Maye, PE teacher at Adams Middle School. I love unified sports because all participants have the opportunity to meet, socialize with, and learn from people they may have never otherwise had the opportunity to or even have seen on campus. It celebrates the diversity of our student body and helps us to be an inclusive community. Kim Sedweeks, math teacher at AMS.
I have been witness to the tremendous growth, opportunities, and successes that are experienced through Unified PE. This program has provided beneficial to all students in an environment that takes into consideration what is a best practice. I highly recommend this experience as a Unified PE participant to any and all AMS students. Mr. Maharez, PE teacher at Adams Middle School. Witnessing the remarkable camaraderie between the general education students and those in special education is truly awe-inspiring. LJ shines like a star when he steps into the school environment. The enthusiastic greetings of "Hi, LJ" not only lights up his face, but also warms our hearts. We wholeheartedly endorse Unified PE and advocate for diverse forms of inclusion. After all, every child yearns for a sense of belonging and security, and inclusion provides just that. Crystal and Lamar Jordan. My daughter is an 8th grade Adam at Adams and Unified PE has been a highlight of her time in middle school. She has 2 amazing buddies who bonded with her from the start of 6th grade and have continued to participate with her every year. They are unfailingly patient and positive and always make her feel part of the school community. My daughter looks forward to PE every day. She has had a lot of physical challenges this past year, but she loves Unified PE so much. She is so motivated to push through her pain and participate as much as possible. We are so thankful for this amazing program and the impact it has had on our daughter's life. Janae Peterson.
The number of students served in 1 year. We have 2 sections of Unified PE daily. We have 29 SDC students. We have 32 Gen Ed buddies. For Unified Sports, we have basketball. We had 31 participants, 10 buddies, and 21 SDC students. Soccer, we had 27 participants. We had 10 buddies and 17 SDC students. And bowling, we had 30 participants, 10 buddies, and 20 SDC students.
Impact of Unified Program at AMS. Inclusion and social integration, physical and mental health, skill development, advocacy and awareness, community building, changing perceptions, legacy of acceptance.
Thank you again to our students, our teachers, our parents for coming tonight. This program is something that's really near and dear to our heart, and it's something that we hope to continue for a really long time. Thank you.
And this, folks, is what it's all about. And so thank you. I'm going to give a certificate to all the participants tonight. I understand there's some students that have practice, and so they're not here. Ms. Wallace, if you will help me, I'll call out the names and hand the certificates. Great job. Soria? Please pronounce the name.
Thank you.
Christina? Alex? John? Leon? Donovan? Alicia? Jackson? Rosen? Did I miss some people? We want to make sure that we'll get their names. Let's give them
Normally there'd be a picture, but I'm not sure you want a picture for the shorts.
for the shorts. I didn't know I was going to be a.
Well, let me get one real quick, if you don't mind, and we'll get Mrs. Griggs and Barnum in there
This
as
is the
well.
important part.
All right, you guys want to hold up your certificate? Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, all right, ready? 1, 2, 3. I'll make sure we have it. Okay, all right, well then you guys are free to go, and thank you again, Adams Middle School.
Thank you.
I think there was a public comment from one.
Oh, there is, yes.
But before we go, if Gia, would you like to do your public comment?
So we
Yeah.
have to open.
We have to open public comment, so may I have a motion?
Move that we open public comment.
Second.
We had a motion and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. I have a little thing I'm supposed to say that remarks are limited to 3 minutes and we encourage comments. Unfortunately, the state prevents us from discussing items so that are not on our meeting agenda, and I'm going to let the rest of it ride. Okay. Yeah.
These are both for the same topic.
And Caroline, you'll follow.
Follow.
You'll be second.
Second.
Yeah, right when she gets through.
Just one moment, we're gonna get our timer going. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we
We'll
can
go ahead
do.
and get started.
Just go ahead.
Hi, everybody.
Bonding with and making real friendships with my peers that have special needs. Plus, we have a blast together, from exercising to playing ball to our favorite activity, Go Noodle. We have so much fun. As Unified TAs, we have a buddy. I've been blessed to have the same buddy for the past 2 years in a row. I love my buddy Vika. The other day, I walked into Vika's classroom to find her crying. Her teacher said she wasn't able to get her to stop from crying. Vika looked at me and saw me. I looked at her and made this face. She looked at me and started laughing. Vika knows I'm her friend, and it made my heart so full to know that she felt joy when she saw me. The skills learned in Unified are skills everyone should have. For example, on Sundays, I volunteer my church's nursery. Sometimes we have special needs children who attend. One time, one of these children was highly upset and aggravated, but by using the skills and techniques I learned in Unified, I was able to interact with her, get her to calm down, and she enjoyed the rest of her time with us. I was able to interact with her, I would have never been able to do this if I hadn't been a part of Unified. Honestly, I may have been afraid to interact with her at all. Not because in fear that I would have caused her more aggravation. I believe that many of my peers feel this way. They don't know how to approach or befriend someone with special needs, so they basically ignore them. Not to be mean, but because they haven't been taught the skills to interact with them. This is so sad to me. They are missing out, and many will continue to do this throughout their lives. That's what's so wonderful about Unified PE. It allows us to come together and to learn how to interact with each other. I'm so grateful that I've been able to be a part of this class. This is something that will forever be a part of who I am. In the end, what started out as what I thought was helping special needs students ended up as them helping me. I am a better person for the time I've spent in the class with my special needs friends, and I am so happy I've learned how to interact with them. This program has really brought all the students together in a special way at Adams. We all love our buddies and our friends from this class. I want to say a special thank you to Mrs. Barnum for all of the work, care, and love she puts into her Unified classes. She has created something wonderful at Adams Middle School in the teaching Unified PE classes. As I move on to high school, I will miss Unified TA, and I will definitely miss my favorite teacher, Mrs. Barnum. But I will forever have the wonderful memories and experiences of being a part of this program, as well as the amazing life skills that have been learned. My hope is that this program continues to grow, not just at Adams, but throughout the district, so that students have the opportunity to experience this great program. Thank you.
Thank you. I wanted to let you know from a parent perspective what this does in the community. My son is at Bristow, and he has an IEP, and he's like, okay, I'm going to run cross country. And so at every single meet, there was a student, a special needs student, and he was coming like way last. I mean, like 10 minutes behind everybody else because he was walking more than running, but he showed up for every meet and he really tried. And the beautiful thing, and I'm going to try and get through this without crying, is that the students from Adams came and they started rallying him. Like you could see the finish line and they were like, come on, you can do it, you got this. And the big smile on his face, and he's like, he's walking a little faster. Next thing you know, the kids from Bristol are going, come on, you got this. And the kids from Discovery Bay and from Oakley, and all of a sudden you have like 15 students surrounding the special needs student from Adams and helping him finish the race. I cannot tell you how important that is. You guys are learning empathy, you're learning caring, you're learning to look at another person and use critical thinking to figure out what do they need. It's about them, it's not about me. And thank you so much for that. And I wanted to let you guys know that before you all left. So in the spirit of that, next month, well, not next month, in June, in May and June, we're going to have some celebrations coming up. And we all also need to be very present and very supportive of the last few community celebrations that we have in our schools are really important, like this, to teach the students exactly that. Empathy, knowledge, caring, how to interact with other people who are not like you. So I just wanted to thank you so much for what you do from the bottom of my heart. You guys are awesome. And I really hope this program can be spread out. And I'm going to take this to the high school and see if we can't get it done there. So thank you.
I have a motion to close public comment.
I move that we close public comment.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Folks, I know you were here to enjoy a board meeting, but if you would like at this moment to be able to leave, if you would like, we won't get our feelings hurt. Thank you, Adam, folks. You did a great job. Take your time.
That's my favorite girl. I want to see stars.
Again, thank you. We'll move to the consent items, item 8.
If nobody has anything to discuss or pull, I move that we approve items 8.0 through 8.8.
Do I have a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. We approve the consent items, item 8. Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Moved and passed. We have no hearings or appeals, no other special reports. So the next, there are 3 more items, 2 of which are information items. We'll start with item 10.1, the board priority goal update. And I think our ladies are ready.
We are ready.
We're ready.
So Justine Melendez, Director of Special Education. That was amazing. Made my night.
Oh my gosh. Yes, Kirsten Job. And that, how do you follow that?
Oh my gosh. I know. Oh, luckily I get just, the only thing I have related is I'm special ed. I'm a special ed person, but they did say something. They said the magic is in the mix. So the magic is in the mix.
Well, thank you. Then we have brought the mix.
So we are here to update you on one of our board priority goals. We're going to be looking at the behavior goal, reduce behaviors that impede learning. And if you remember, Kirsten and I came to the October board meeting, and I did a slide at the time that said behavior is communication. And we talked about how there are behaviors like timeliness and productivity and high engagement that communicate to us that people feel welcomed and part of something greater. And then there's behaviors like tardiness or lack of engagement or chronic absenteeism that communicate a lack of involvement. So really, behavior relates to school culture. So if we can improve school culture, we inherently improve behavior. So we kind of drew that connection. So we're really looking at increasing higher student engagement. These outcomes will tell us whether we've been successful. Improved time on task, positive relationships, and students feeling supported. So these are the action steps we shared in October. So they were on two separate slides. Now I just combined them. So these were the action steps shared. At the site level, the implementation of Tier 1 social emotional curriculum, the counselors at every school, VPs at every school, PBIS at each school, rolling out of restorative practices, and then also the school level teams like student study teams or care teams. At the district level, we were supporting VPs with PD and also building their skills. We work on the action plans. We kind of had each site do an action plan. The PSs, program specialists from my department, and myself and different cabinet members were supporting admin teams as thought partners and proactive problem solvers. And then we were continuing with our NCI training. My department does that, Mark Baldwin, in collaboration with another provider that we use from the outside to do NCI training. And then we were doing some cross training with school counselors and school psychs. So now I'm going to share progress we're making at the site and district level on these goals. I'm happy to share that when we were at our strategic action planning, when we participated in that process where families came and board members were there and the community was there, we got tremendously great feedback about the school counselors and the VPs. I mean, parents were saying like it's a tangible difference. The teachers and the parents were really seeing the benefit. And so the school counselors continued to do the strengthen their outreach. The VPs are just seen as very critical support members at each site, engaging with families, engaging with kids. The site teams continue to implement positive behavior intervention systems like check-in, check-out. That's where you start your day with somebody and you end your day with somebody. And then the site teams continuing to expand their work with restorative practices. At the district level, we review the action plans pretty much at every principal's cabinet meeting, and we have those every month or every 6 weeks roughly. We've provided training for VPs. Kirsten leads those job-alike work groups. I've trained on special ed practices. Diane has trained on budget, and Chris has trained on conducting staff evaluations. And then one of the biggest things I'm super excited about is I feel we've seen measurable outcomes with the collaboration between the PSs and us district cabinet members with the site admin, specifically for special education conflict resolution. I've worked extremely closely with multiple principals to collaborate with families and come up with solutions that we all feel good about. And it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of honesty, it takes a lot of care, and we've done that work very well together, and I'm super proud of it. I know they're here, and I'm glad they're here. They can hear me. Like, I've seen some major shifts for families, and it's been exciting. The other thing is we've really seen some creative programmatic changes. So we redesigned the preschool, excited to do that, roll out next year. That was like a collaborative process and saved staff, saved resources, really thinking outside the box. 2 of our schools, Ron Nunn and Pioneer, have shifted programming for next year, which is significantly increasing LRE opportunities for these kids. We're collapsing mod severe classes and turning them into mild mod classes. So those are 2 big changes. really empowering staff to make the changes they see that work for their site and work for kids, like making kids the reason for the change. And it's super student-centered, and we're seeing the outcomes already. So it's exciting to share.
So the next part of the slides, we're going to go through a little bit more, some depth into each of the areas and add some more data. So our counseling programs are just so just incredible, and the work that our counselors have been doing the last few years just keeps just strengthening. So they do groups, they see kids one-on-one. There's a lot of work with our SEL programs. Our second step is incredible. And they do our suicide, it's called SOS programs. They do a lot of work with families, making sure they have that first level intervention, the tier 1, tier 2. And so there's a lot of just intentional work, meeting families where they're at, meeting with site teams, making sure that we are doing that preventative work that Justine was talking about. So very proud of their work that they have continued to do over the years. They're really just amazing. Which is my, oh, it's not showing the whole piece. Yes, so I don't know if you can see the whole piece. There's about 99,000 contacts. It's a lot. There it is. So this is how many contacts there have been this year in our school counseling program. So you can see the incredible outreach that is taking place at each school site. So the highest level is our classroom guidance lessons. So our counselors go into the rooms and they spend time in the classrooms teaching specific skills. The next level would be the one-on-one counseling. And then teacher conflict collaboration is a huge number. So this is how much time our counselors are spending in the classrooms with students, with staff. So this is why that outreach is so critical. So really proud of all the time that our counselors are spending. And it's definitely time well spent. So next slide is, okay, well, thank you for that. Our Care Solace is our, it's a management group that helps us to connect families with mental health supports. And so that's something that we have for our staff, for our students, for families. And this is the impact report that was right before our break. So over 7,300 communications that they've had with families. So they're really doing a great job helping us to connect people to supports that they may need. And we can see that the next slide is that there's a wide variety, the colors didn't come out great here. There's a wide variety of genders, ages, and ethnicities here that you can see. There's just a wide variety of people that are using this resource, which is really wonderful. Yeah. And then the next thing is when we came before in October, we talked about our goal. At that time we were in differentiated assistance, and we were trying to get out of that, which we have since. When I shared in January, I believe, about attendance, we talked about how we've been removed from that program because of our improvements. And one of the areas we had this data, as well as a few different subgroups that we were really monitoring. So in suspension, unfortunately, our goal had been to lower our data here, but unfortunately we increased by 0.6%. The people behind me are not surprised at all about this because they've had such an increase in discipline and concerns, and you hear about it everywhere you go right now. When you go into classrooms, you go visit schools, that behavior is one of our biggest concerns that we have. So we are doing many things to prevent that, which we're talking about. However, this is our data as of last year, is that we increased by 0.6% instead of reducing that number. The next area here is one of the data areas we are really watching is our African American subgroup. And unfortunately, that increased by 1.5%, which was something we really did not want to see. And that's something we're very concerned about. The next one here is our foster youth, which did decline, which is something that we were very happy about because that went from very high to being in the green area. So that went down quite a bit. So that was one positive area of our data. The next slide shows that we were
our goal was to decrease by 0.5. Instead, unfortunately, that we're not on track for that because we saw that we went up by 0.5 instead, so which is about 50. The number is about 50 students that were suspended, so that's not good. Our LCAP goal was to decrease that rate of suspension for all students, to decrease it by 0.5% to 1%. And we did not meet that goal, obviously. We did meet in that one area, the foster youth, which was great, but not all areas. So that is a continued goal that we're going to have to work on. How we're doing that is our next steps here. So continue to provide that consistent SEL support. This is our first year of second step being consistent in all classrooms. We will continue with that. We need to reduce behaviors that lead to suspension and expulsion through other means of correction. There's a variety of ways. All of our administrators are working at other ways to support students when they make errors. Mistakes have some kind of consequence that is not leading to them being removed from school. So there are multiple ways that we're working on that. Providing professional development, focus on strategic learning tools and behaviors. We'll have that too for our first PD day when we come back in July. We're working on how we can support those students, and we have seen so many disruptive behaviors since COVID. Every teacher will tell you that. Yes. Continue to examine the student study team processes. We're meeting district-wide on this. We've been working on this for a while and having better processes to intervene earlier. And we're also going to develop and implement district and site culture and climate committees to support helping all of our students feel welcome at every school. And then expand the restorative justice practices so that every school has this. And those are that's our update.
I had one quick question. You had mentioned that at a couple of sites you were collapsing the mod severe to mild mod.
Yeah, it was a collapse.
Switch. Now, is that due to student matriculation? Is it improved behaviors? How is that change taking place?
So some of the classes were lower grade mod severe classes, and we found that the students didn't require that level of need. They were coming out of preschool and they didn't require that level. They needed more rigorous instruction, and they were really not needing the alternative curriculum that is typically available in a mod severe class. And they could, honestly, they could do more rigor. They could do a lot more rigor, and we have a slightly different student ratio. And so we found there was a need for more rigor and a different kind of level of curriculum for students in mod severe. And then we had students who would benefit also from a mild mod, who needed to move down from more gen ed into a smaller setting. So there was this like sweet spot in the middle of enough students that really could go up a level and students who needed more support. So it's like this combined level. But we are finding our preschool program is super robust, and a lot of students really, once they have that, support, they really can take off and they can go into way less restrictive, I shouldn't say way less, but less restrictive settings. And we're seeing that trend, and I'm excited about that trend. I think it's spot on for how children develop typically.
That's great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
They're both of those two changes were in TKKs.
Do you have any programs in place to deal with putting more responsibilities onto the parents as we, and I'm not talking about a one-time only, I'm talking as, let's be honest, I mean, 95% of our kids are wonderful and 5% of our kids are constantly the disturbers, for lack of a better word. And as it escalates, is there anything that we can hold the parents liable? I mean, I know I'm going back because my age, I mean, it used to be you were totally responsible for your kids, but that's not the case most of the time. So,
Well, I know that the DA is has a very full load right now. I can see if we can advocate in some capacity. I can bring that back.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, and I bounce it off the shooting incident that recently occurred where the parents were actually held responsible for the.
Gosh, for their.
But unfortunately, on the flip side of that, I wholeheartedly agree on that particular incident just because it was an escalating thing. But on the flip side, unfortunately, the vice principal today just got arrested for not doing her job in regards to not taking further action on the child. And that's a scary thing to me, that if you guys are going to be held responsible for some kid that and you're dealing with your 900 other kids in each school or 600 or whatever, that now you're going to be held responsible for some kid's behavior is kind of scary as a school person and administrator or whatever.
So I will say that.
I think that was more of a political speech.
I think
than,
this, yeah, I was going to say, I'm not sure how to respond, but rhetorically, I think that's excellent job.
So.
I want to thank you for the data. I think that a lot of times we don't understand how many contacts take place and how often and how necessary, and to weigh it and gauge it with the different types of behaviors and groups is very important. And so I want to thank you for that, and thank you for the clear report very much.
And I actually went around yesterday to several of the schools real quick, and I was actually impressed with the behavior. I was actually pleasantly shocked, for lack of a better word, because everybody seemed to be doing what they were supposed to be doing. And it's not like they were doing it to impress me, because 98% of them don't even know who we are, and 96% of the parents don't. So I thought it was very impressive. So.
Thank you. I think that it's a testament to our incredible staff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
I'm not saying it's that way all the time, just to clarify that.
Speak for yourself on the 98% don't know who you are.
I know you.
Thank you. I see you back in the corner. So item 10.2. This is the Food Services Department and California Universal Meals Annual Update. Sammy, tell us a couple of jokes, would you?
You're gonna do, yeah. And then you're gonna do board VP and sources first. Actually, there you go.
That's great.
You're good right now because you got the tab up, so it's already up.
Well, let's see if it changes.
There you go.
All right. Hello, board and cabinet. Thank you for having me tonight. I wanted to give you an update of what we've been working on this year. Is it hearing? What? Okay. So my name's Kristen. I'm the food service coordinator here at the district. So thank you for having me here tonight to give you an update of what we've been working on this school year, as well as our future goals for next school year and beyond. So we have universal meals last year. We continue to serve that this year. We serve an average of about 60 for enrollment for lunches and 37% of enrollment for breakfast. So that's about 1.8 million meals a year that we serve to all of our students, which is free. So of course that has increased our need to continue to serve the kids and add more staffing and capacity to our kitchen so we can keep up. As you'll see here, we've increased not only from last year, even though meals were still free for all students last year, we continue to increase with improvements that we've been making in our program, and significantly since the year before COVID. So more than doubled for breakfast, or just about doubled. It's also important to know, remember that food services budget is restricted and it's separate from the general fund. So all revenues and expenses in the department have no impact on the general fund. It continues to expand. We currently have 65 food service professionals, and looking to add more and more technical skilled staff to our group. We really strive to make the cafes a special place for the students, doing special fun things, taste testings, always implementing and developing new recipes that are all USDA compliant, serving nutritious and delicious meals to our students. So really this year, that's in line with a lot of the grants that we've been getting and applying for. We're really striving these goals here to effectively and sustainably transition our program that's really being supported by the state as well, from more of the heat and serve processed items to really sourcing local and just overall fresh ingredients. We're doing that. So the grant, it's called the Kitchen Infrastructure and Training Grant. It's tied to the 40% having fresh scratch cooked meals and freshly prepared meals in our kitchens. So a lot of these goals are tied to these incentives that the state is really pushing, and we were already working on them prior to, all of this extra push. This year, we, with the help of Chris and Diane, they've been instrumental in helping us restructure our department to include more and more technical positions. You'll hear in a bit, proposing the kitchen production manager, and then also bringing in a full-time cook to each of our schools at some point, kind of phasing that in as our kitchens get up to speed with the correct equipment and everything. That we've started working on about half of our kitchens this year, and we'll continue to get everyone able to effectively cook the fresh meals at the high quantities that we need. And then just always adding that internal growth opportunities, not only for trainings, but also promotions. So the biggest thing we've been really working on this year are upgrading our kitchen facilities, with the implementation of universal meals. Like I already kind of mentioned, it's not only changed how many meals we're serving, but also the state is really emphasizing and really backing it up with a lot of grants and money to help us get to the point where we can effectively cook these meals for our students. So just said that. So here we have a pico de gallo that we're using in one of our new immersion blenders, making a fresh cheese sauce as part of a collaboration with the Chef Anne Foundation in our tilt skillet, and then using an immersion blender to make some fresh marinara. So we're just offering more and more professional development. Last year I did talk about our collaboration we were working on with, it's called Brigade. It's an organization, it's a consulting organization that places trained chefs inside of schools. So we have hired, or not hired, but we have brought on a Brigade chef. His name is Adrian, and he is working with our kitchens and will continue to be with us for sure next year. Continuing to give that vital instruction on all of this new equipment, teaching technical culinary skills, quality production kitchen cooking, also of course food safety and skills to our staff, and we have certifications available for all of our staff. Just some of the equipment that we are continuously training on. with some of the new recipes and just the ins and outs. Our big and small equipment like tilt skillets, combi ovens, food processors, and of course knife skills. I'm really excited to be, not only are we going to be cooking more, but we're also sourcing more and more local and higher end, higher quality ingredients. We actually just started this week working with May Strawberry Farm. Not only are we bringing this really great local, it's not organic, but organically grown strawberry into the kitchens, but we just put out to all the teachers that you'll hear in a bit, our Taste and Learn events. We already have about 175 teachers that have signed up that will be working on getting some information into the classroom as well as into the cafeteria, just talking about the local produce. We started working with a company called Alicia's Tamales Los Mayas. They'll have breakfast burritos this week and some tamales and fresh burritos next week. She's a local resident here. In February, we started working with Bonami Bakery for some bagels and bread and buns, and they're really tasty. So if you haven't tried one of our burgers or things like that, you should go definitely check it out. In the past, we worked with Dwelly Family Farms for cherries and hope to do that again this year. Frog Hollow Farm, we continue to work with them for stone fruit each fall. And last fall, we worked with Simone and Missoni Farms for some fresh Brentwood corn. Byron, I guess. So these are just some ideas that we'll be really working on next year as we get our kitchens upgraded. Just really kind of moving from the processed items to fresh items, things that our chef will teach everybody to do. And we'll also work with the students and make sure that they are loving them. So this is one of the things I've been really trying to do in the last 2 years. It's kind of putting the fun back into everything and really connecting our cafes with the class and then local growers. So last May we did one with cherries, which was fun. We that was like in the classroom tasting. We got kids that had gave us some questions that we would want to ask the farmer. We did a video with the Deer Valley High School production team. They came out and did a long, nice video, and all the teachers that had signed up to do that played that in their classroom. So we'll be doing the same with strawberries this year, or this May. And then, sorry, for in August or September, we did a shuck and cook for all of the schools that were interested. I believe we had about 4 to 5 elementary schools that we brought in fresh corn. The kids were shucking it one day. We took it to the kitchen, cleaned it, cooked it, and then you'll see there on the right, my son, who's in the back here, is enjoying some fresh corn. Another thing we've been able to bring this school year that I think was just kind of happened, especially with having our chef that has that background of some unique items. We've really collaborated with the community celebrations and taken on our own little twist to also celebrate those communities. So we haven't put them into our menus and anything like that, but have done lunch taste testings. So the students are still familiar with what they're eating for lunch, and then they get to get this additional sample of something that's really traditional in that community. So those are some of the examples, and starting tomorrow, right after Ramadan, we were going to start today, but change that. We'll be doing a lentil lamakoon. So our staff is really great about just doing some fun stuff with the students, always making it a really fun experience, going above and beyond, and writing on their bananas some, awesome messages, just to, some taste testings of some new tacos we had, and making some fun parfaits. Same with celebrating some national events and promotions, some green eggs and ham. We had a smoothie bite and also featured some smoothies. Yes, a couple of our principals were able to hop on there too. And just some fun weeks, to continue to feed kids healthy foods, but keep it fun as well. Thank you so much for your opportunity for me to speak today and give you our updates of what we're going to continue to do in our kitchen, serving many of our students. And I appreciate all your support that I've gotten from the district and making our department the best it can be. Thank you.
For all that you're doing, continue to do. I know our food service program is amazing, and you're a big part of that. The amount of meals you guys are doing is just crazy, but very impressive. And thank you again.
Thank you.
I'd just like to say the same. You're incredible. Where you brought our program from where it was to where it is now. It's just, you're an incredible asset to this place, and I hope you realize how much we all appreciate you, because we certainly do, and it's wonderful. I was able to have a corn dog the other day. Well, a student offered me a corn dog, and needs a little work, but it was.
That's not one of those from scratch.
I don't think they're making hot dogs.
No, I think it was a heat and bake or something. So anyway, no, you're wonderful. And your children are very well behaved, so you should be proud of that.
I'll get dessert tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'd like to make a comment.
Yes, go ahead.
Kristen and all of the food services team, they're just most incredible, dedicated group of individuals. And like our teachers, they're so caring for our students, always doing and making decisions for the right reasons, similar to our teachers. So just thank you, Kristen, for leading and doing an outstanding job.
Yes, thank you again. And so we move to item 10.3, the approval of MOU with California School Employees Association.
Yeah, so this ties in perfectly with our last presentation for food services. So we've been working with CSEA to create 2 MOUs and 3 job descriptions, and Kristen alluded to that. And so the first MOU establishes a food service position, kitchen production manager, and it eliminates our lead 1 and our lead 2 position. So the details of that is what the starting salary is, and the steps and those pieces of it, as well as the elimination of the lead 1 and lead 2. This allows us to do exactly what Kristen's talking about here and be in a more progressive kitchen program. The second MOU creates a cook baker. And so having grown up in this district when things were cooked in the district, I'm super excited about this. And I'm happy to volunteer myself as a food taster. The next 3 are job descriptions. And so that goes into detail about a food service kitchen production manager. The next one is food service cook baker. And then the third one is food service assistant. And I just really want to commend not only Kristen and her work, but also CSEA. And this was a really great project to work on in collaboration with them. And Diane, do you want to say anything to it? I don't mean to put you on the spot, but you did.
No, I would just say, sort of including what you said about working with CSEA, because Lynn Moore and Cecily Melendez are food service leads, and they were part of the negotiating team for CSEA. And it was really a partnership. Like, we were interested in this work, and they were also equally bringing it forward. So, I just want to echo what Chris said.
So they'll both assume the title of kitchen production manager?
For your time, referring to the lead 1 and lead 2?
Correct, yes.
Yes.
That is correct.
In July, so in the new fiscal year.
So
yes.
there's lead 1 obviously is higher than lead 2, or vice versa?
Vice versa.
So now they'll both be equal?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
And again, Kristen And the reason is that because we now do fresh scratch cooking in every kitchen, it's the same job. The elementaries used to do less than they are. So now, every kitchen is going to be up, hopefully 40% or more fresh and do
Perfect.
everything that Kristen presented.
Thank you.
This is an action item.
A motion, as soon as I find it.
10.3.
10.2? I make 3. I make a motion that we approve 10.3 as written in the MOU between CSEA.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. Those in favor?
Aye.
So passed. Is there any board member comment for future agenda items?
Move that we adjourn.
Then we shall adjourn.
Well, I'll second it.
Thank you.
I think we have a new record.
It's close.
Not bad.